I am a proud partner of Car Marshal. If you are interested in a new or used car, please check out Car Marshal. Click on the link in my description box below. No credit check, no cosigner. That's Car Marshal. The Chitlin Circuit ranged from the early 1930s all the way into the 1960s, with acts like Fats Domino, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, James Brown, Lena Horne, and Little Richard, just to name a few. But there were many more than that. The Chitlin Circuit was held on the eastern, southern, and Midwest areas. This was during the Jim Crow era. These areas accepted Negro comedians, musicians, and other entertainers. The Chitlin Circuit provided jobs for hundreds of black folks. Their music made folks happy, and they made a lot of money. The locations were dance halls, night spots, and juke joints, all black owned. In a book called The Chitlin Circuit and the Road to Rock and Roll gives a very deep description on what the Chitlin Circuit was all about. This was considered underclass type of music, and the only reason the Chitlin Circuit was created was due to racial segregation. During the Chitlin Circuit, Little Richard went by the name of Princess LaVon. It was more appealing to have a female name attached to you, or female impersonators. And of course, it was more appealing to emasculate us. Having a female name or female impersonators could get you onto the big shows. Many black male musicians had a female name attached to theirs. They always want to make us less threatening, but having a woman attached to you meant a better show for everyone else, especially when it came to shake dancing or swing dancing. Little Richard was a songwriter, a pianist, and a vocalist. He went on to be one of the first 10 inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They once called rock and roll African music or voodoo music. The voodoo music that would drive the kids insane, white kids. White parents were very bitter about their kids catching on to the sounds of Negro music. White people would go to black concerts and they'll get a feeling that they couldn't get anywhere else with any other type of music. The music liberated their bodies and their spirits followed. Little Richard's hit song, Tutti Frutti, was released in 1955, just shortly after the brutal killing of Emmett Till. Black artists were now being more accepted. They were being more appreciated now. And white artists just were trying to steal their sound.
Because the Chitlin Circuit is just what it is, the Chitlin the hog guts. We used to work for the food, and you get a plate of chitlins or 2 or 3 hamburgers. I remember back in the early 50s, I played so well, the guy would give me 2 plates of chitlins. I would sell one of them for 25 cents. He'd fix me 4 hamburgers. I would sell 3 of them and eat 1. So I sell a plate, so I would make an extra $2 a day just selling my food that he fixed for me. Because he wouldn't pay me but $4.50. You know, that's what we was making. My first gig, I'm making $12 a month. $12 a month. 1951, $12 a month. I have been up, I've been down, been turned all the way up, round and round. But I'm so thankful that finally I'm crossed over with a white audience, but yet I didn't cross out the black audience. I remember in 1951, playing in clubs behind the curtain where they don't see my face, but they want to hear my music. Did I have a little long enough to see the change in people's heart and mind? And God had let me live long enough to see the change and enjoy some of the changes that happened to me in my life. Let me tell you how much history in blues. Someone asked me, said, Bobby Rush, so why do you sing the blues? Is it because your woman left you? And I often tell them, yes, you can have the blues when your woman leaves you, but you can also have the blues if they stay too long. So I don't know, but you might not know about that, but it's somebody with us today. His name is Peter. He probably knows about that. But if he don't know, let me explain to Peter about this. Have you ever been mistreated by someone you're showing up love? Have you ever been mistreated by someone you're showing up love? Out of all the men my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. No matter how bad she treated me, still can't get the love out of my mind, yeah. Well, no matter how bad she treated me, still can't get the girl out of my mind. Out of all the men my woman could have left me for, she left me for the garbage man. If I ever get her to come back, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. If I ever get my woman to come back, Peter, I'm gonna buy myself a garbage truck. When my garbage can't get full, Peter, I'm gonna take it and drop it way, way out in the woods. That's the blues for you.
An artist named Bobby Rush labeled himself the king of the Chitlin Circuit. As a teenager, Bobby wore a fake mustache and played guitar and harmonica at local juke joints. He was getting gigs, and he traveled around with John Big Moose Walker, Bobby's styles of music was lively and upbeat, and he called his music folk funk. Bobby used to bring a lot of energy to his shows. During the 50s and the 60s, Bobby Rush became one of the top performers of the Chitlin Circuit. Blues, rock and roll, and similar genres of music were representative of the social conditions black folks experience as they moved to new areas in the country. The influence of this music and culture was integrating the black and white races. The Chitlin Circuit started off mostly in small towns, and then it spread everywhere. The circuit was good for black folks because they got paid by cash-only operations. So you have to remember that Negroes were broke, but this was good. They can get half of their money before the show and the other half after the show. The downside was the ticket sales, because these venues didn't report their sales, which made it hard for entertainers to get noticed by mainstream music industries. All different types of music developed during the Chitlin Circuit. String bands, the blues, rock and roll, performers like Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Ruth Brown, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, Billie Holiday, the artists who were shaping their music careers on the Chitlin Circuit eventually became known to a national audience that crossed and transcended racial lines. At the time, they only worked in an almost entirely black world that was virtually unknown to the pop world. Billboard magazine in 1945 renamed its African American music bestsellers list to rave records, to rhythm and blues. It was a sign of change. The influential gatekeepers have tended to treat rhythm and blues as a genre-defining term rather than what it was, a marketing phrase that was shortened for black popular music in whatever form happened to be selling. The standardized definitions of rock and roll emphasize a fusion of black rhythm and blues and white country western sounds, as if the two styles brought distinct elements to a new mixture. While that certainly applies to Bill Haley and Elvis Presley, who were some of the first rock and roll stars, it implies a shared primacy that didn't exist at the true dawn of rock and roll. While black music was clearly rocking by 1949, country and western fans delighted to the sounds of yodels, waltzes, accordings, fiddles, and steel guitars. So what happened to the music that began during the Chitlin Circuit? I'll tell you what happened. White folks discovered it, fell in love with it, and made it their own. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section.